Hi, I hope everyone's doing okay today. This is a little weird for me. Um, so this is a, so this, can't talk today. This is a small video of me working on a walk cycle because honestly, I have not been able to stream at a reasonable hour because life has just been too crazy. So I just decided to record it, maybe add some commentary, which is this now, and upload it and see what happens. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing okay lately. I know things are kind of crazy and ah. Remember to be mindful and take care of yourselves and all that stuff. Oh, commentary. At the beginning of this, I used Blender to get some references for well, not references. I made some models for the sword and horns on this character, and I used Blender to help me out with perspectives on that. So that explains what that is. The rest of this should just be bog standard. Look, he do the draw. He do the draw. Yes. Uh, Honestly, I'm not entirely sure what I will do as commentary. Please feel free to mute and play music, or just not even watch it. This is mainly for me to stay productive, if that makes sense. I thought about putting music here too, but I'm not. I don't know what music is allowed on these kind of things. Anyway, so, I like using shapes to stay consistent with things. In this particular instance, the hair. Hair is a very fluid thing, but the highlights are usually kind of similar. So, I just copied the highlights, put them all as a solid color, and drew over them to kind of get an idea for what they should look like. As opposed to thinking about it as like one big massive part, it's like, oh, hey, look, there's like several parts and they can all move individually, and that makes it easier, even if they all blend together at the end. On the top left of this, you will see a animation window that updates in real time, which is a feature for iDraw 3, the program I use. It's I tried to kind of adjust the speed because this video is at what 8 times normal speed, something ridiculous like that, and I tried to kind of adjust it to not look crazy when the video was sped up. Unfortunately, I'm not entirely sure if Audacity can record for extended periods of time, so I'll try and do these in like 5 minute intervals and see what happens. Working on the outline, I get asked a lot about why like I have gaps in the outline, why it isn't like a solid black thing. That's just mainly how I learned to do it. I learned a lot from trying to mimic Game Boy Advance sprites, particularly the Sonic ones, because that was what I was into at the time. And that's kind of how they do it. They have like a gap that is kind of covered by a darker color of the character. Uh, just adjusting the head real quick. Other games do it in different ways. Like I know the Superstar Saga series has a solid black outline, but then it has like a gray pixel in the corners of the outline to kind of help it blend in with the background, which is really cool. I actually do that for inanimate objects because it helps separate it from characters. Really, I would just suggest doing whatever works good for you. Working on the legs now, just fleshing out some general shapes and making sure that excuse me, and just making sure that they all animate right. I'm doing this all in one take because I have been trying to get this done for a long time. It is surprisingly a pain in the ass uh to animate like this, right? Or not to animate like this, to fucking to record like this. Like, mad props to people who can, because this takes way too much out of me. So, I like to save backups of what I'm doing. So, like, if, for example, I fuck up later on and I delete half a leg or something, I have like I have like a backup. I have a somewhere on the canvas there is a copy of the animation with that significant part, and I can just go back and fix it. It ends up kind of wasting more time often than not, but it's just something I've gotten used to doing. Just making sure I'm getting the cloth bits drawn right. I don't know what you would call this weird little flap. I'm used to them being in World of Warcraft, and we always called them tabard flaps. Here's an example of that backup thing, by the way. I fucked up the leg after I got the shape for this flap. Cloth flap. Flap. What's a fun word? I should apologize for the lack of general updates. I have just been run ragged lately, and I need to rectify that. One thing at a time. With any luck, things will calm down, and I can connect with people again. And I can't even keep up with Twitter. Like, I have been trying desperately just to get to a point where I can feel comfortable doing things, and then it's like, oh yeah, I have all these friends that I barely talk with anymore, and I feel really bad about that because I would like to interact and talk with people and have fun and uh, time. Time is a problem. I've just been helping out my grandmother and helping out my mother, and anyway, I just it'll get better. I just sincerely hope that everyone is doing okay in the meanwhile. I like to play fast and loose with the highlights on the with the tan coloring on the cloth because it's cloth. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can bend and warp and move around all kinds of fancy like. We adopted a new dog, and I helped my grandmother get a new dog too. My grandfather passed away recently, and the dog is supposed to kind of help her stay active and stuff. But she's a weirdo. I just hope that'll be okay, because my grandmother has a habit of being kind of stupid and belligerent. We'll see. That's just grandparents in general, I think. Working on shading. I'll be honest, I have no idea what I'm doing with shading. I have a lot of. I like devouring tutorials and other pieces of art, and I just kind of loosely guess what to do for shading for that. To fix a little bit of an outline there, and just adding, shading to the little tan parts of the cloth. Louis. I like to do the legs first on a character when I'm animating, because that way, like, the arms are usually in front of the character, and if they, like, cover up a part of the leg, I might get confused. Like, I might not realize, oh, hey, this is supposed to bend this way, not that way. Little hoof feet, look at them, and they are little hoofies. I'm not entirely sure how people prefer to do feet on like bovid characters. I a lot of my inspiration for them comes from World of Warcraft, so that's kind of how I've taken to doing it. No, I suppose not, because they're like just a solid lump in World of Warcraft, aren't they? I don't know, it's probably something I picked up from just random art. I know I have a friend, Belina, who like agonized over how to do hoof feet for their character forever. If you know about them, please look them up. Or if you don't know about them, look them up. They're really cool. Uh, Commentary. Riveting. Between my taking care of my grandmother and the dogs and helping my mother drive to her appointments and stuff, and my own appointments, because I recently got the COVID vaccine, and I have a dentist thing I need to take care of. It's just been a hot mess, and I haven't been able to keep up with anything, and I'm just rambling again. Just going over and over again, again and again. Need to stop. I'm doing all this in one take, by the way, because I have spent a long time on this video. Like, I had them all done up in the wrong order, and it's just been a hot mess. In fact, as I'm recording this, I'm supposed to be getting ready for another appointment in 45 minutes? Yeah, because we have to be there at 1:30. I hope everyone's getting the vaccine. I know there are some people who are dumb about it, but it does legitimately help. One thing that I should have improved upon with this animation is torso movement. Honestly, this animation would rarely ever come up. Like, it's not important at all. But I really wanted to see how well recording it would go for keeping me active, and it did a pretty good job. I think it did really well. So I was kind of belligerent about it. I was kind of like, I've come this far. I'm gonna finish it. This neckline still gives me trouble. I'm not gonna lie. I I'll figure it out one day. When I first got iDraw 3, the real-time animation window up there, actually, I did not like. I felt it was really hard to keep up with, and I was much more used to the onion skin from like Adobe Flash, which is still better. Like onion skin is so nice. That's why I do the basic stick figure and stuff for an animation in that sometimes if I think it's going to be a problem. But this has like been growing on me. Just the real-time updates as it goes is really nice. Fixing some colors because Blender has a weird habit of not doing the colors right, and iDraw 3 only has like a limited palette, which is more problematic than anything. For some reason, iDraw 3 only works in 255 color BMPs. That doesn't make any sense to most people. So there's like 255 colors, and then there's 24-bit, and 24-bit is like the default that Windows Paint uses. So it gets very frustrating when like I want to open something in iDraw 3, or you kind of have to work around it, is what I'm trying to say. Like if you wanted to open up something in iDraw 3 to look at it for reference material or whatever, you couldn't just open it. You have to like convert it, and you have to figure out a way to get it to a 255 color BMP without screwing up the colors, and it's a hot mess. But I figured it out. It took me years. There's another instance of those backups being handy because I don't have the arms in this. I think I agonized over like the positioning of the elbow for a while. He's supposed to be walking backwards here. He's kind of just shuffling right along. Dick ding, dick ding, footloose and fancy free. Fleshing out the arms. Yeah, torso movement would have really helped in hindsight. Still, it's all done, and I need to move on to other stuff. I still owe a commission to a friend of mine, and who I need to check up on, honestly. I need to check up on all my friends. The people who I have, Oh, look, muscles! The few people who I have kept in regular contact with, are mainly just because they bother me, like they take the initiative on it, because I'm usually so tired that I just die. It's like, oh, look, there's a bed. I'm gonna go collapse in it now, goodbye. And it's just so hard to remember, hey, I want to check up on a friend. Let alone, like, play games with people or anything. Games have always been such a hard thing for me to get into, because I don't have the time. I have friends who play, like, World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV, and it's so hard to keep up with them or anything in a reasonable time frame. Because I'm usually away for so long, it's like, oh, okay. I think one of my favorites was in Final Fantasy XIV. I I started playing and I got to level 50. I want to say I did not complete the story yet, or for the first expansion. For those of you who have played Final Fantasy XIV, you know what I'm talking about. But for anyone else, you kind of have to go through the story quests before you get to the next expansion. Anyway, I got to level 50, and I was like really proud of it because I was like, I get to unlock samurai, I get to unlock all these cool classes. And I'm like, hey guys, I'm level 50, and they had started playing again at around the same time. So, color my surprise when they said, "Hey, that's nice. We're actually like so tired. We're actually exhausted. We have exhausted all possibilities. We're done raiding. We're tired of raiding. We're moving on to the next game." I was like, well, fuck. Oh, God. These hands have given me issues, because, like, here they're too small, and I fix that later. I make them bigger. But, since he's like a larger character, I just have to remember, oh yeah, his hands need to be chunky. Hands are one of those things that don't give me as much issues as they used to. Like, I think they're fun now. Compared to like an arm or a leg or something, you can just kind of do so much with them. I like the asymmetry in this character's design. Like, the way one arm has a sleeve, one arm has like a wrapping. I think that's really cool. It's a kind of a pain for design purposes, but it's a nice it's a nice change of pace. now that I know this works, I will try and do this kind of video diary stuff more often, because, like I said, what the fuck is time? I'm actually legitimately surprised that I have been able to keep up with two daily schedules, because I normally stream with a friend. I have a friend named Callus, and I stream with him when he plays Sea of Thieves on Thursdays. Sometimes, because he swaps out people and stuff. Um, Very surprised that I've been able to keep up with that, which is it's fun with friends. And then I do like a tabletop group on Tuesdays that I have had trouble keeping up with, because a lot of times I'll be like, "What the fuck is Tuesday? What do you mean I was going to die? How dare you awaken me from my eternal slumber?" Blah. Fabulous hair is great, and I love animating it. I wish my hair was that long. It's only down to like my down past my shoulders a little bit. It's not as long as the characters, but I would like it to be. Just hasn't been growing out. Damn. I question a lot about how the tail looks sometimes, but I shouldn't worry about it. I know for this character it's a little long. Like, actual cows don't have tails this long. But I don't care. It is nice. I do the swishy wishy wishy. What the fuck? You can tell that I'm devolving the longer this goes. I'm doing all this in one take, so I cannot be bothered to edit it. I thought the tattoos on this character would give me a lot more trouble, but they have not. More like complicated ones, probably. But that's something that I have told myself I need to use Blender for. I kind of half-ass the wrappings. The ones on his feet and on his arm. I just... Look, shading implies detail. And that's kind of what the rest of this is just finishing up the shading and making sure everything's consistent. I don't know if I'll get around to actually editing the torso movement to work better with it. It shouldn't take me that long, but I just have other things I need to do. Need, want. Should, could. I think I've got a minute left in this. I do hope everyone is doing alright, though. Like, I know I can't keep up with stuff, and it's just been a hot mess. I want to talk to people more. I want to use Patreon more. I want to do more. It's just not feasible right now, and it sucks. Sucks. It's the fat man's ass. Please, by all means, feel free to hit me up though if you have me on Discord or just on Twitter. I don't care. I'll try and reply when I can. It's just nice to talk to people, you know. So the animation's done. I'm cleaning up the backups I had and kind of getting ready to put it in GIF form. Look, is Microsoft GIF Animator. is a nice program. I use it a lot. Unfortunately, it took me a hot minute to actually get it working. I think at the end of this, I will have the actual GIF running to, like, show off what it came out to. Anyway, I hope y'all are doing well. Please, by all means, take care, stay safe, all that good stuff. And I will try and do more of these in the future and see where that goes. Okay, goodbye!